You can imagine I was a bit shocked by this turn of events. When you have been working really hard to make someone's dreams come true, and then all of a sudden they just go, we got ourselves a puppy. Welcome to episode 18 of the Pawdoption Guide podcast. I'm your host, Bethany Muir, and this is your one-stop shop for the knowledge and advice you need to adopt and integrate the rescue dog of your dreams. I'd be lying if I said that the dog adoption process with my clients is always the same. There are a lot of contributing factors, including the pandemic, that can come into play and affect your plans. And today I'm going to share what happened with my last one-on-one client and what it was that motivated me to pivot to a membership program. By doing so, I hope I can paint a realistic picture of what your dog adoption journey might look like and how you can stay on track when you could otherwise derail. For their privacy, I'll refer to my clients as Jack and Jill and their dog as Missy. Jack and Jill were new to the dog adoption game. They had some local friends who had adopted a dog from a rescue in their area, and this kind of had piqued their curiosity about adopting, following a very tragic death of their young dog. Through our first consultation call, I could tell that they were a really great family-oriented and animal-loving people that were just looking to make their house a home again. And on a follow-up call, we discussed a great deal about how the pandemic was slowing dog adoption, due to a lack of inventory and slower processes because of lockdowns and restrictions. And it was actually the first time that I implemented this new policy with my clients in order to kind of adjust expectations for how long it might take to find their ideal dog. Because initially I had no time frame on our contract together. It was a flat rate that I would help them adopt their dog within. And there's no real time frame, but that was also because we weren't in a pandemic and things were somewhat predictable, and it was likely finding people a dog within 3 months. Well, I had seen with a previous client that was not the case, and they were really an ideal adopter. So it certainly had me worried. So I thought I need to help set people's expectations because it can get hard to be patient. So I basically would reassess our collective progress at about 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months down the road. And then they had the option at that time to either take a partial refund if they wanted or stay on board with me. Of course, I thought it would be very manageable to help them adopt a dog within 6 months, but the world was a bit of an unpredictable place at this time. So, I thought, let's just set things up right so no one gets disappointed. Following our call, I had them fill out a detailed questionnaire called the Dream Dog Match Survey. And this just helps clarify my clients' wants, their needs, and their vision for their dog. And then I take those results and I make a summary for myself so that I have like a concise picture of what a compatible dog looks like for them. And then I can perform my searches with that. So here's their summary and what Jack and Jill really wanted in a dog. And that was a kid-friendly dog, a dog-friendly dog, a dog that could handle long car rides, one that was affectionate, gentle, not too difficult to train, at least 6 months old to 7 years old, but ideally a young adult, not a puppy. Jack had said that he recently gone through that stage with their last dog and really did not want to go through it again. And then, medium, large size dog was okay, but the size of the dog really wasn't that important. They just wanted to get a dog that definitely had reduced shedding. That would be ideal. So even if it was a hypoallergenic dog or a dog with maybe more of like a hair coat, that might be more satisfactory. and a dog that, wanted daily walks, outdoor activity, and was smart, playful, outdoorsy, calm, loyal, cuddly, all those things. And, I know you're thinking, wow, this is crazy, but really you need to create that vision at the start, that ideal dog, and knowing some of those particular attributes they want, like, smart, playful, outdoorsy, calm, loyal, cuddly, those things are really important so that, you can find those things within a dog's profile, and then it can help you really assess whether profiles are suited to you or not. And then some of their preferred breeds, which I often ask, even though, you're usually looking at getting a mixed breed, I still like to know what breeds they tend toward. And so they said things like poodles or poodle mixes, labs, border collies, Aussies, or dachshunds. So after this, I got to work sending them profiles of compatible rescue dogs that they could pursue or deny. And I sent them about 12 matches in a 12-week period. And of course, I've always kept track of every client I've ever had in all the matches I send them, and then all the dogs they apply for, in order to be able to keep track of my stats and like how long it takes me to find them a dog, or how many applications they have to fill out. And so I can pretty confidently say that. And with every match, I ask for feedback so that I can better my next search. If I send you a white fluffy dog and you're like, I don't really want a white poodle. I'd rather a different color. I'd be okay with anything other than white. Well, then there's no point in me sending you another white fluffy dog. So you got to tell me that, or I can't make my search more efficient for you, and I'm going to waste my time and your time. So, there were quite a few times that I never heard back about any of the matches that I had sent them. And that definitely concerned me. Even, I would follow up and there would still be no response. So in the end, they did submit about 2 to 3 dog adoption applications during that time. And although no adoptions really transpired from these, one application was approved by the dog rescue, which made them a preferred adopter. So unfortunately, the dog they had applied for had already found its home. They were just too late to the game on that application, but they had looked through the application, said, yep, you guys look like a great adopter, so we will keep you as a potential adopter filed away, and basically when we have dogs that are compatible with you, we'll call you up or email you, and you can have first dibs on those dogs. And that was really a huge bonus for Jack and Jill at this point, because once not every dog rescue does that, but because this dog rescue had a fairly large and regular inventory compared to most, it was just a shoo-in that now it was only a matter of time that they would probably get a compatible dog. And of course, I would still keep searching in the meantime to make sure they didn't miss out on any other dogs. But I really celebrated with them on this one when that news came through, because I knew this is the turning point for them in their search. And we were about the 12-week period at that time. So, about 3 months in, and I knew they were probably getting antsy. So shortly after this, I kind of asked them to inquire about a particular dog that was with that rescue where they were a preferred adopter. And Jill told me at this point that she and her partner were wanting a dog pretty imminently for mental health purposes in their household. And they had actually heard about a litter of Great Pyrenees cross dogs at a farm nearby and had already arranged to get one of those puppies in a few weeks' time. You can imagine I was a bit shocked by this turn of events. When you have been working really hard to make someone's dreams come true, and then all of a sudden they just go, we got ourselves a puppy. And, that certainly wasn't the direction I thought they were going to go in. I was, pretty bummed out. let's just say. Of course, I was happy that they were getting their needs met, but I was concerned that it didn't really fit their vision and wasn't setting them up for that long-term fulfillment with dog ownership. For one, they'd be raising a puppy, which was something that they had specifically wanted to avoid. And two, they'd be getting a dog that sheds heavily when they were hoping for non-shedding or low shedding. And then three, they were supporting a backyard breeder when they had set out to get a rescue dog. So, none of those things really aligned with their vision and what I was searching for on a regular basis. I couldn't help but wonder, where exactly did we go wrong? So, reflected a little bit on that. And I think the major reasons that this train derailed is, one, communication. During the search process, there was often no responses to matches I sent. And even when I sent a follow-up to encourage feedback, I heard crickets. So, that's huge for me. I can't do my job right if I don't get more specifics and updates on preferences. If they had told me, we now want to look at puppies, there were multiple adoptable puppies that I did see during that time period, but chose not to send them because I was staying true to what their wants and needs were. Two, impatience. So everyone starts out this process thinking there's no rush and that they will have no difficulty being patient. However, once you immerse yourself in the world of rescue dogs, or you're, thinking about it, manifesting it, right? Like it's all you can think about, or seeing these matches in your inbox regularly, your mind can kind of get hyper focused on completing the task that you've set out to do. And it's important to be able to kind of come back to your original plan and vision in order to stay zoned in on that instead. Jack and Jill were likely dealing with that impatience and weren't able to communicate that with me at that point. And three, some family influence. So their family situation really encouraged that need for immediacy. And, this could happen in any family, and it's really up to the adopters in this scenario to decide how to proceed, and only they can say how desperate they were for a dog at that point, right? But I mean, I do question, are you getting a dog for the right reasons if you're desperate for one? That definitely doesn't sit great with me either, but that was their choice. And unfortunately, I do believe that a rescue dog was not really a high priority for them. So it wasn't too difficult to stray from that vision. So although I wasn't required to, I gladly helped them with the integration of their puppy by providing some puppy prep and training basics and nutrition recommendations, and then regular email communications as they saw fit. And that was the end of that client's adoption journey. This whole scenario left me feeling disappointed, though. I initially questioned if I had done enough to help them accomplish their goals, and almost immediately I realized I had. I was very thorough in my communication, and my search efforts, and my support for them. And after thinking on it some more, I kind of realized that my process could be a little to blame here. My process was a bit inefficient. So, many of us are short on time, and having a middle person like myself feeding the clients information bit by bit just kind of added one more step to everything. And this process required additional and regular email communication, which was noticeably a struggle for most of my clients. Just getting them to respond to a lot of my dogs that I was sending them regarding compatibility. I just wouldn't get a lot of responses. Even if they did respond to say that they were going to apply, usually it was like, okay, I'll apply, but I didn't get an idea of, I really liked this, or I didn't really like this, or this sounds great. So it was a bit hard to get that feedback. And it just seems that communication was just too much for people. And that it was clear my clients didn't really need that level of attention if they couldn't provide adequate feedback. And lastly, I'll never be able to keep on top of a client's shifting perspective or any way in which they change their mind about any detail of this or what they're dreaming of. And this means that they are the ideal person to be searching for compatible rescue dogs. All of this and more client examples led me to rethink how I was helping families adopt their ideal rescue dog. And now, just over a year later, I'm launching my Pawdoption Guide membership experience. And so today, these same clients could have logged into their membership, served themselves as they were directed through what's basically a dog adoption masterclass that's broken down into 5 sections and features, videos, workbooks, infographics, PDFs. And while working through their adoption journey, they'd have access to additional resources, including my Southern Ontario Dog Rescue spreadsheet so that they could do their own searches, how-to videos, and bi-weekly Q&A calls so that we could stay on top of any issues or questions that arise. And then also be a part of a private, growing membership community where clients have that necessary support they need so that they can stay on task and achieve their dream and be around like-minded people. I'm sure Jack, Jill, Missy, and family are probably all very happy right now. They're through that puppy stage after all, which is definitely a hardship. Anyway, you can't win them all, but I'm pretty grateful for its turn of events. After a year of pivoting and building this membership program out, I'm proud to be opening it to the public in just a few days. And if you or someone you know is struggling to adopt or daydreaming about a dog, you'll want to join the membership waitlist to get the details of the Pawdoption Guide membership experience launch, which is happening on Sunday, February 27th. So that's when you can first enroll in the Pawdoption Guide membership experience. And Lordy, it has been quite the journey here, but I know that this is how I'm supposed to help dog adoption clients from this point forward. And I'm just really excited for everything to just be so much more concise and set up just for that, perfect self-serve option, and also to get to help more people at once and, still surprise people with some extra TLC to their dog adoption journey at times, I know little ways that I'm going to be able to just really give them that extra push, or maybe even send them a few matches now and then, and it'll be a much more enjoyable experience for us all without the hindrance of that maybe unnecessary communication, and just really way more efficient so that we can get the job done. So that's exactly what I'm looking forward to this Sunday. So keep your eyes out on Instagram or Facebook. I'll be sharing lots of details about what's inside the Pawdoption Guide membership experience. And I hope you enjoyed this insider look at the clients who inspired my membership. Caring is sharing. Please leave a review on the podcast platform or tell a friend about this show. New episodes launch on Thursdays, and you can find me at Pawdoption Guide on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time.